Hello and welcome to the Fabrico.Design channel. We develop professional sewing patterns and make them available to every woman. Using our patterns and video instructions, you can easily sew any garment at home and feel like a designer.
Today we are cutting and sewing the Elite Basque belt, asymmetrical Basque belt with a hidden buttons fastener on the right side seam. The Basque belt is lined and decorated with ornamental lace. For sewing, we will need the patterns, leather for the main fabric, lining fabric, interfacing, matching threads, 3 sew-on buttons, Grosgrain ribbon, and sewing accessories. You can find the patterns of this design on the Fabrico.Design website. Let's start cutting. Leather doesn't need decaying. Please note that this basque is asymmetrical and it has the marking right side, each piece. This means that we put the fabric face up. We also set the pattern accordingly, face up. If we are cutting from the wrong side, then we turn the pattern over accordingly. Preserve the direction of the grain line. We align everything in one direction as the leather can shine differently depending on its directions. We transfer all control points. Our patterns already contain seam allowances. After cutting, be sure to check the number of pieces according to the pattern specifications. Here's what we should get from the main fabric: 1 front piece, 1 back piece, 1 waistband piece, 1 loop piece. From the lining material, 1 front lining piece, 1 back lining piece, 1 under waistband piece. Don't forget about the pieces that we interface completely or partially. We interface the front, the back, and the waistband pieces completely. The bold basque belt will become the star of any look. We used leather as the main material. Jeans or suede will also work great. On the front of the basque belt and on its back, we mark the darts from the inside. As we are sewing from leather, we suggest that you use these clothespins. They do not leave punctures. If you use regular pins, pin only along the allowances, as you will not be able to remove the punctures from the leather afterwards. Press the allowances with an iron towards the center of the piece. Here's how it looks from the front and from the back. Please note that we iron the leather from the inside, and if you iron from the front side, make sure to use a pressing cloth. Next, place the front of the basque belt on its back part and sew along the side seam. Iron press the allowances apart. Mark the locations of the darts from the inside on the front of the lining and on the back, and stitch them. We also iron press the allowances towards the center. We place the lining of the front of the basque belt on its back part and sew the side seams. Iron press the allowances, We place the basque belt face to face onto the lining and sew along the short and bottom sides. We cut out the corners, and we cut on the curves, not reaching the line by 0.1 centimeters. We turn the garment inside out and press with an iron. We turn the garment inside out, iron, forming an edging from the main fabric by 0.1 centimeters, and then we lay a top stitch along the seam by 0.5 centimeters. Pin the basque belt with the lining along the waist, cut by 0.5 centimeters. Fold 2 parallel cuts towards the center and stitch along the folds on the belt loop piece. This is how it should turn out. If that's easier for you, when ironing the folds, you can place the interfacing web inside so that the allowances hold better. Also lay 2 parallel stitches. Next, according to the pattern on the belt piece, mark the location of the belt loop and stitch it on, folding its ends. Like this. It was easier for us to make the belt piece with a side seam while cutting, but yours can be either solid or stitched. If that's easier, you can pin it a little at the spot where the leather will be covered by the belt loop. This is how it should turn out. Next, cut the grosgrain ribbon to the desired length and attach it to the short sides of the waistband in the middle of the cut. The short one goes to the front fastener and the long one on the other side. Iron the bottom edge of the under waistband 1 centimeter inside out. Stitch the belt with the under waistband along the sides and top, placing the pieces face to face. Cut out the corners, turn inside out, and iron. Place the top side of the waistband face to face on the basque belt and sew. Iron the allowances onto the belt. Stitch the ironed bottom side into the seam where the top side is sewn to the basque belt. Next, stitch a line along the entire perimeter 0.5 centimeters. Iron. Next, we mark the location of the hidden buttons on the pattern and sew them on. We sewed the buttons on. We recommend that you secure our twill tape like this with the buttons, and here we secure it with a stitch. We thread the Grosgrain ribbon through the belt loop and iron the finished basque belt from the inside. The Elite Basque belt is finished.
Thanks for sewing with us. Subscribe to our channel and publish your photos in different social medias and tag us. You can find the link to our website in the description box below the video.